Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Alder.
Here.
Alderman Flores.
Here.
Alderman Galloway.
Here.
Alderman Hutchinson.
Here.
Alderman Owen is absent. Alderman Snyder.
Here.
We have 5 aldermen present. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much. First on the agenda, we'll have the approval of the June 15th meetings. Are there any questions or anything regarding the June 15th non-legislative session meeting? Okay, if not, entertain a motion.
So.
Okay, okay, and seconded by, I think, okay, I was Snyder. Okay, so a motion to approve the June 15th non-legislative session was made by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Snyder. All in favor, do so by show of hands. And that passes. Next, we'll go to our June, see, 20th, a special meeting we had regarding the minutes. Any questions regarding those? Okay, not seeing any. We have a motion to approve as printed. Okay, and okay, so the motion was made for the June 20th special session, made by Alderman Hutchinson and second by Alderman Snyder. All in favor, do so by show of hands. And it passes. And then our third set of, okay,
Yeah, since I missed the earlier meeting.
oh, okay. Do we have that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Then our third set of minutes for the June 20th regular session at 7 o'clock. Any questions regarding those minutes? Yeah, if not, there's a motion that we accept them as printed.
So.
Okay, Flores and seconded by, okay, okay. So the motion to approve the June 20th regular meeting minutes was made by Alderman Flores. It was seconded by Alderman Alder. All in favor, show by show of hands. And it passes. As for item 5, there is no ceremonial matter. Item 6, no scheduled guests or visitors. So we'll begin. We have 2 first readings. So we'll begin with new bill number 3457.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill 3457 on its first reading by title and short description only.
Okay, and second by,
Second.
okay. So bill 3457 by title only, made motion by Alderman Flores. It was second by Alderman Alder. All in favor to do so, show of hands. And it passes.
An amended ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Ozark, Missouri, chapter 405, article 6, landscaping, screening, and buffer yard requirements.
Okay. At this time, staff comments, Director Cameron Smith.
Yes, following the last meeting, first reading, there was a request to modify the ordinance. Staff has updated that section. So on page 17 of table 1.6, there was a motion and approved to remove the option for vinyl fencing in C4. So staff has made that update and that should be reflected in the revised ordinance. Other than that, I'd be happy to answer any additional questions.
Anyone from the board? Okay, since this is a first reading, anyone here from the public who wishes to speak for this bill? Anyone here ask for speak against this bill? Okay. And do we have anybody on Zoom? Okay. So again, any questions from the board regarding bill 3457? Not seeing any, so therefore bill 3457 will be held over for a future meeting for second reading. Okay, we'll move on now to bill number 3460.
I move to place bill 3460 on its first reading by title and description only.
And seconded by, okay, so bill 3460 for its first reading by title only was motion made by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Alder. All in favor, do so by show of hands. That passes.
An ordinance authorizing the city to enter into a contract with Olson Incorporated for corridor planning services.
And at this time, we'll have staff comments and again,
You may recall I believe it was last year, it's been a while, staff had did a driving tour with the board to look at several projects around the community. And along that tour, we talked about Highway NN, South Street and Third Street. So that's something, the project that staff was looking at completing in the 2023 year. So with that in mind, staff did propose in the budget that was adopted for 2023 to allow for the hiring of a consultant to complete these corridor studies. At the end of 2022, we did submit a request for qualifications, advertise that posting in December and received requests or responses to that qualification request. Staff had taken those submittals and evaluated those with our review committee. We selected what we felt was the most qualified firm out of those, which was Olson Incorporated. Staff has been working with Olson and submitted them an RFP or request for proposal to draft a scope and proposal for submittal to staff to review. Staff has worked with them for about probably 3-4 months now, evaluating that scope and proposal to get it within the approved budget, which was $150,000. So tonight, this evening, staff is recommending approval of entering into a contract with Olson Associates for the completion of our corridor studies along Highway NN, South and Third. One thing that'll be a little different or unique on South Street or Third Street, as we are asking them to look at more of a complete street scenario along that street section, as opposed to the other streets was more about a land use along those corridors. This study will help guide staff in future applications along these corridors of what we're looking for. That takes it a little step further than the comprehensive plan. But with that, be happy to answer any questions.
I am not seeing any questions. Since this is first reading, is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak for bill number 3460? Anyone against? Okay. One more time, board, any questions? Okay, or Director Smith? Okay, therefore, bill number 3460 by title only will be held for second reading for a future meeting. We have no resolutions. Now we'll move now to second reading and final passage of the following bills. We'll start with bill number 3453.
I move that we place bill number 3453 on its second reading by title only.
Okay. Okay, so bill number 3453 for a second reading by title only. Motion made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Flores. All in favor, do so by show of hands. And that passes.
An ordinance authorizing the city to enter into a master intergovernmental cooperative purchasing agreement to utilize the Omnia Partners Cooperative Procurement Program.
Okay, at this time, staff comments. Yes,
Myself or Mr. Childers would be happy to answer questions if there are any additional.
are there any questions? Okay. We're being quiet tonight. Okay, okay, if not, sir,
Your Honor, I move that we enact bill number 3453 as ordinance number 23-040.
okay. So the motion is that bill 3453 becomes ordinance 23-040. Motion made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alderman Flores. With roll call.
Alderman Alder,
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson, Alderman Flores,
Aye.
Alderman Snyder,
Aye.
Alderman Owen is absent, Alderman Galloway.
Aye.
We have 5 aye votes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Now move to bill 3454.
Your Honor, move to place bill 3454 on second reading by title
Second.
Okay. Okay, bill 3454 for second reading by title only. Motion made by Alderman Flores and second by Alderman Galloway. All in favor, show by show of hands. And it passes. Okay.
An ordinance amending the zoning code and official map by changing the zoning classification of certain real property generally known as a parcel approximately 0.91 acres at 5425 North Pheasant Road.
Okay, any staff comments, sir?
Nothing to add, unless there's questions.
Any questions from the board? Okay, not seeing any.
I move that we adopt Bill 3454 as ordinance 23-041.
Second.
Okay, the motion is that Bill 3454 becomes ordinance 23-041. Motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Galloway. We do a roll call.
Alderman Owen is absent. Alderman Snyder.
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson. Alderman Flores.
Aye.
Alderman Alder.
Aye.
Alderman Galloway.
Aye.
We have 5 aye votes. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Bill number 3455.
Your Honor, move that we place Bill 3455 on second reading by title only.
And second by,
Second.
okay, so Bill 3455 being placed on second reading by title only, motion made by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Alder. All in favor of this motion, do so by show of hands. That passes.
An ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Ozark, Missouri, section 405-350 C4 design guidelines.
Okay. Any staff comments, Director Smith? Any questions for Director Cameron Smith? Okay, not seeing none.
I move that we adopt Bill 3455 as ordinance 23-042.
Second by. Okay. Yeah, so Bill 3455 we become ordinance 23-042. Motion was made by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Hutchinson. Roll call, please.
Alderman Galloway.
Aye.
Alderman Owen is absent. Alderman Alder.
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson. Alderman Flores.
Aye.
We have 5 aye votes. Motion carries.
Moving on to Bill 3456.
Your Honor, I move that we place Bill 3456 on its second reading by title and description only.
And Alderman, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, yeah, okay. So Bill number 3456 for second reading by title only. Motion was made by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Alder. All in favor of this motion, do so by show of hands. And it passes.
An ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Ozark, Missouri, chapter 405 zoning regulations to add language regulating accessory dwelling unit conditional use permits.
Any comments? Any questions for Director Cameron Smith? Okay,
I do have a general comment.
oh, okay, yes, sir, sorry.
Something about on this conditional use thing for the dwelling unit. And this is just more of a comment to the board just to see where you guys are with it. But one thing that I would be concerned with about this, I'm not saying it's something that would stop from going forward, but is there's been other towns like Springfield, for instance, where they've had some serious problems with slumlords, and people have lived in very, very unfavorable conditions and people renting them out to them. And I realized that this would be something that would probably take some time for our city to have realized, because I mean, I don't know how many people would have this accessory building that they could meet this with, but I do think that one thing we have to go forward with is that even though most people won't use this as an opportunity to take advantage of people, that is a reality that every other town I've ever seen deals with. And so I'm not saying we need to adjust anything to it, but I do think it's something we should think about, and if there's any way we can avoid that from happening. And I don't know if long-term leases, like not having long-term leases is the answer to that, where instead of having like a tenant, it's more of like an Airbnb. I'm not really sure. I just wanted to make that comment just for thought on that. And if there's something that we need to make better about the bill in the future, just to, like I said, I don't even really have any suggestions on what that would be. I just have seen it in other towns, and it makes me worry about that in the future of our own town. So.
Alderman Hutchison.
I like two of the things in the bill a lot. in regard to what you're talking about. And one is that the owner of the property has to live in one of the buildings, either the accessory building or the main house. And the second one is that it calls for an annual renewal with a rental inspection. And I think those are really good safeguards. And I'll look forward to when we see a proposal for having rental inspections.
Anyone else?
Your Honor, I move that we adopt Bill 3456 as ordinance 23-043.
Second.
Okay. The motion is that Bill 3456 become ordinance 23-043. The motion was made by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Galloway. Roll call, please.
Alderman Flores.
Aye.
Alderman Alder.
Aye.
Alderman Galloway.
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson.
Aye.
Alderman Owen is absent. Alderman Snyder.
Aye.
We have 5 aye votes, motion carries.
Okay. Well, I wish my church business meeting went this fast. Okay. That was off the record, but anyway, bill number 3458.
How is that off the record?
Wait, I said it already, but
On the record. Here, Connor, I move that we place bill number 3458 on its second reading by title only.
and
Second.
okay. So bill 3458 for second reading by title only. The motion was made by Alderman Galloway and second by Alderman Flores. All in favor of this motion, do so by show of hands. And it passes.
An ordinance reaffirming a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest in compliance with Missouri law.
Do we have any staff comments regarding this? Or questions for them? Okay. Okay, I am not seeing any, so
Your Honor, I move that we enact bill number 3458 as ordinance number 23-044.
Second.
okay. So bill number 3458 becoming ordinance 23-044. The motion was made by Alderman Galloway and seconded by Alderman Flores. Roll call.
Alderman Snyder.
Aye.
Alderman Galloway.
Aye.
Alderman Hutchinson. Alderman Owen is absent. Alderman Flores. Alderman Elder.
Aye.
We have 5 aye votes, motion carries.
Moving on to our last bill, it's bill number 3459.
Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3459 on its second reading by title only.
Second.
Okay, bill number 3459 for second reading by title only. The motion was made by Alderman Galloway. It was seconded by Alderman Flores. All in favor of this motion, do so by show of hands. And it passes.
An ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Ozark, Missouri by adopting one new section related to judicial parking spaces.
Do we have any staff comments or questions regarding this bill? Okay, I'm not seeing a movement, so
Your Honor, I move that we enact bill number 3459 as ordinance number 23-045.
and
Second.
okay. The motion is that bill number 3459 become ordinance 23-045. The motion was made by Alderman Galloway. It was seconded by Alderman Flores. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hutchinson. Alderman Elder.
Aye.
Alderman Owen is absent. Alderman Flores.
Aye.
Alderman Galloway.
Aye.
Alderman Snyder. We have 5 aye votes, motion carries.
At this time, we move to reports and city administrator Steve Childers.
At the last meeting, I had a list of accomplishments that you heard me read about a lot of our employees. And one of them wasn't here last time. He's sitting in the back of the room now and didn't know I was going to do this. But I mentioned that it was very impressive, and we're all very proud of our chief because he was selected by a group of his peers to attend something that not everybody gets chosen for, and that's the FBI Academy.
Yeah.
And he wasn't here to really answer any questions if you had any questions about that, but I did just want to say congratulations to him because that's something that took time away from his family. He had to go for a long time to go do that. And it's just really impressive that we have that was chosen. If you do have any questions for him, I'm sure he can explain what that actually is and what that means. So anyway.
Yes.
Hi.
So Steve almost got it right.
Okay.
Not all the way.
I didn't think I got it exactly right.
Tell us some more.
All right. So what I got chosen to attend was the National Command Course for the FBI. The FBI has had a long-standing leadership school called the FBI National Academy. It's probably the most prestigious leadership training that a law enforcement professional can go to. However, it is an international training session where only about 400 law enforcement professionals from around the world get selected to go every year. I had actually been on that wait list for about 7 years up until 2021, and I asked them to remove me from the wait list for the National Academy just because I didn't think that I could probably take 12 weeks away from the city to go complete that. And so talking to people within the FBI that I knew in 2021, they were having a lot of those problems where mid-size agency executives, chiefs, assistant chiefs, stuff like that had been on the waiting list for the National Academy very long. So in 2021, they developed what's called the Command Course. And that's for agencies of 50 sworn or less. And it has to be the chief or the sheriff to be selected. And I was selected to go to the 4th session of that. So when I went, there had only been 150 chiefs or sheriffs from agencies of 50 or less sworn police officers or sheriff's deputies from around the nation that went to that. The importance of that is about 88% of all law enforcement agencies in the United States have 50 or less sworn people. So there's a very underserved demographic in law enforcement leadership that was not being serviced by really the elite leadership training for our profession or for our industry. So I was selected, went out to DC, and what they've done is they've basically condensed that program, hit on a few highlights. But it will be a kind of an ongoing program. So I do anticipate having to make a few more trips to get some of the training, the rest of the training that wasn't provided, since it was only a 1 week rather than a 12-week program. Hopefully it'll be a little more local than DC, but it was a good trip. But really what it was is just getting professionals from similar agencies from all over the United States. I think there was 27. I think there's 27 states represented. And we just got to really look at industry standards, whether you're in Ozark, Missouri, or upstate New York, or Southern California, wherever you may be. We're all facing very similar type problems. And we're all, trying to make a difference in the industry that we serve. So it was a very good week out there. It was a great honor for me, a great honor for the city to have someone selected. So that's what it was.
So when you go back, is that something that you can pick the time? Like there's going to do different programs or?
So they haven't set exactly what that will look like because it's in its infancy. I anticipate them doing something very similar to what the FBI National Academy Associates do, and they have more regionalized training. So, someone from maybe Springfield PD or the Highway Patrol or someone like that who's attended the National Academy, typically when they go for refresher trainings and meetings and stuff like that, they may travel to St. Louis or Kansas City instead of Washington, DC. So I really don't know what that looks like. I know this fall I have an opportunity to maybe get in on some training with that, but there's still not a lot of details on how that's gonna look like right now.
I wonder if there'd ever be a time when it could be by state, like each state have its own training. Who knows?
Possibly, but that's part of the, I guess that's part of what makes it so good and so unique is that you get to network with professionals from across the nation. A lot of times in Southwest Missouri, we're not on the cutting edge of things. I mean, just to be perfectly honest. So one of the many benefits of it is sometimes we get to see industry trends that are happening maybe in California or New York or Florida or wherever. And we can kind of get ahead of the game before those type of things make it here to Missouri. But that definitely is one of the benefits is being able to network with people from all across the country. So.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone else? Okay. Well, the thing I appreciate about the chief is the emphasis they put on training for all officers, including himself. Because, I mean, like I said, there's training going all the time. The officers are going different places but I do appreciate that very much, even for me as a chaplain, the training I have gone through. So it just makes a better department and appreciate that.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Everybody have a happy and safe 4th of July.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. There's no agenda meeting tomorrow. Just the ones who it involves, unless you want to show up tomorrow, but I won't be there. So, and then July 17th and July 20th meetings will be occurring. Now, City Administrator Steve will be on vacation, but we will be, but again, the 20th meeting, Jeremy has got most of that, the breakfast agenda, that one. So,
Steak and eggs.
yeah.
That's correct.
All right. Okay. Then, has the date for the staff retreat been set? Are you still working on the logistics of getting?
Steve and I have a meeting with the company that we're choosing, which is Habitat, on July 11th. So I won't have a date until after that. I collected our dates, but I still have to find a location. I have to find food, I have to make sure that they can confirm. So I've got us sort of there yet.
Okay.
But I will confirm until they're ready to confirm with us, which is until next week.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Probably not July.
I think in September, probably.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So it's coming out of the station. So you think I'm safe?
I would say about 100%.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
It's been about a month, but I went to the Missouri Municipal League Conference for elected
Oh.
officials. And Alder went last year. It was really, really beneficial. There were sessions on employment law update, ethics, conducting city business, fundamentals of municipal government, how to never become Groucho Marx on media, and MML services, sunshine law, revenue sources, and media relations. They were really excellent, even though, no offense, but attorneys put almost all of them on. Some were more entertaining than others, but it was very interesting and good information. And I would encourage anyone else who can possibly go next year. My favorite session, though, was creating a destination community, one business at a time. And I had heard this man at a couple of National Main Street conference meetings, and he was really excellent. He talked about our town, sounded just like our town. And so it was the conference as a whole was very good.
Very good. I'm glad you were able to go. Okay. Anyone else? Not. Entertain motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Motion to adjourn made by Alderman Galloway, second by Alder, all do special hands. And